Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering. Off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. I'm playing for you series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. At the time I'm reviewing this, it is still bubbling. That is how fresh this is. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means I was on my way home from work. I found some shit to review for you. And that's definitely the case today. Got off of work. It's payday, so, got a little money. And typically when it's payday, I go over there and I like to treat myself a little something. And as I was particularly hungry, because I didn't really have a lunch today, I was like, man, let's do it. Let's go out, let's get a proper breakfast for ourselves, right? But where to get breakfast from? I've reviewed stuff from Burger King and McDonald's and all kinds of places. And I've also reviewed, some sit-down places and stuff. There's one place that's relatively new, and I've already reviewed some stuff from them in the past, and I was like, well, let's review some more stuff. So, where did I go? What am I reviewing? I'm reviewing something from, boom, Sunrise Brunch. Specifically, where's the thing? At 1075 York Road in Bensonville, Illinois. By the way, with this being a review of an Illinois spot, this review is going to end up on my Eating Out Illinois playlist, which is a playlist for just Illinois spots. But what am I reviewing? Well, folks, like I said, I was properly hungry, so I was looking through their menu. Decided to go over there and place an order for pickup. I'm going to be reviewing. Oh, it's literally still bubbling. Boom! What is this? This is their house skillet. Granted, it's not in the skillet, so I don't know if legally, by definition, it can be called a skillet. But it's their house skillet. This is their go-to skillet, right? It consists of so many things. All of their skillets come with 2 eggs of whatever kind you want. I got mine over easy, and like I said, they are still bubbling, which I love. Homemade breakfast potatoes. Then you get a side of toast or pancakes. I got the pancakes, but I'm not going to be reviewing those in this instance. Then it is ham, bacon, sausage, onions, spinach, green peppers, tomatoes, mushrooms, and cheddar cheese. Ha! So let's go ahead and let's get a thing for the thing. It looks like this. And we'll just kind of go, ha 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 ha! Let's get into this, man. I'm so hungry. Alright, where'd I put the thing? I literally went over there and had, specific silverware. Whatever. I'm always so ill-prepared. Despite the fact that I try not to be. Like I said, I literally got some silverware ready for this, but it has vanished. I think it's gremlins, personally, but, try to convince other people of that. They're like, no, we're going to lock you up and you never see people again. Gremlins. Let's go ahead and let's bust into this. Oh, because you got to bust. Look at that. It's still... Oh, and then you bust in the other one. And then, yeah, I love a skillet, man. Skillets are definitely one of my go-to items for breakfast. My go-to is Eggs Benedict. But in this instance, I really wanted a skillet, so let's go ahead. Full credit on the eggs, nice and runny with the yolk. And let's make this happen, Captain. Ooh. That's some good ham. That's proper ham. Because, ham, you got, ham, bacon, sausage. Sorry, pigs. Ham could very easily be sort of like the lesser of those three, if it's not done properly. But no, ham is really good. It's honestly, that's some proper, like, cooked breakfast ham. I like that a lot. I mean, I'm enjoying the hell out of this. I also appreciate the fact, I love hash browns, but I do love the fact that they use actual breakfast potatoes instead. Usually with a skillet, they just do hash browns. Potatoes, cooked really nice, tender, easy to eat, very flavorful. And then you've got all these delicious, meats and potatoes, and you just have this, like, assortment of different, of different veg. And, so you got some onion in there, you got some mushrooms in there. I love mushrooms. So I'm all about that. Got spinach. I love spinach. And the thing is, usually, usually, spinach is good too. Tastes nice and fresh. If I go over there and I get a skillet, I usually go for like a Meat Lovers or maybe a Gypsy skillet, something like that. Something that's very protein heavy. But in this instance, I wanted to go with the house skillet because, it's their namesake skillet. Mushrooms are nice. Everything seems to be cooked very well. I mean, I don't have any problems with this. This is very tasty. And even though it's a lot of things, the flavors aren't fighting one another. We've got nice breakfast proteins doing their thing. A little saltiness from the bacon here and there. Like I said, I do think the ham is kind of a standout. I like it when I go over there and I get a nice little bite of tomato. Kind of goes over there, gives a little something different. Yeah, man. This is a good skillet. Like, everything about it, done properly. You got the nice cheese. I have really no complaints about this. It's really tasty. I know it's going to be really filling. And again, just everything that's in there works. It's a little bit of like a garbage style skillet, but to their credit, like I said, everything's in proportion, everything's cooked properly, so none of it feels out of place. And even though I'm not like the biggest onion guy in the world, I don't even mind the onions, Yeah. I'm going to put this down because I'm just going to keep eating it. All right. Well, 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I'm going to go with absolutely and absolutely. So, I've been to this place, like I said, on one other occasion. I reviewed one of their burgers. And for all intents and purposes, it was a decent burger. I think it was a mushroom and Swiss burger, if I recall correctly. It was decent enough. It didn't exactly blow me away, but, it was fine. I knew that if I was going to do another review for them, I really wanted to get something from their breakfast menu, right? Because even though they're brunch, they more breakfast oriented. And looking at their available options, of course they had a lot of the standard fare. And when I saw that they had a list of skillets, I was like, well, let's try out a skillet. And, as somebody who enjoys a skillet and who's had probably more than I should have in my entire life, if I'm being honest, I know a good skillet. This is a good skillet. It's not the best skillet I've ever had or anything, but everything worked. Everything was cooked properly. Like I said, I liked the addition of the breakfast potatoes. I thought that was nice. I liked the mushrooms in there. I liked the way the ham came through. I thought that was really nice. So not only was this a good skillet, but it was a skillet with some personality. This is a skillet that I got from Sunrise Brunch, and there's something to be said for that. So, for me personally, man, yeah, absolutely. I would definitely get this again. If I want a nice hearty meal, I want a good skillet, and again, a good skillet with some personality, I know where I can go. So I would definitely get this again. Now, if I'm recommending it, I mean, obviously you got to be a skillet lover like myself. Not the band, by the way. There's a band called Skillet. I mean, if you like Skillet, that's fine. I think their lead singer is a little bit of a douchebag, isn't he, though? Or maybe I'm thinking of a different band. If I am, I apologize to Skillet. But no. I think this is one of those things, man, where, like I said, if you're a Skillet lover like me, a Skillet connoisseur, this is a solid one. Everything came through properly. The flavors are all there. It's definitely going to fill me up, and that's saying something. So I think, if you're in the Bensonville area, you want yourself a nice breakfast, Sunrise is, at the very least, they have a good skillet. I can't speak to everything, but, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there, have yourselves a truly skillet-tastic rest of your life. Be it the breakfast item or the band. Why aren't there skillets for non-breakfast? Like, it's just in a skillet. And it's just in a... I might be onto something here. Maybe I could get Skillet the band to be on board. Provided that their lead singer isn't the douchebag that I think he might be. Final 2 things, folks. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what do you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. When we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, let me know. What's your opinion on skillets? Both the breakfast item and the band, if you're so inclined. Because again, I have very little frame of reference for the band Skillet. I know they're a band. I believe they are of the metal variety. And I think at one point in time I was actually going to look into their music, but someone, or maybe I read an article or something, had just alluded to the fact that maybe the lead singer was a bit of an asshat. But again, that could be anything, so I just didn't look into it any further. Let me know if you know. Is he an asshat? Is he not an asshat? Might be a very nice guy.